Find the derivative of y equals the square root of the quantity 1 plus 2x minus 3 raised to the 8th. So y here is the square root of an entire expression, 1 plus 2x minus 3 to the 8th power. Since we do have a radical or a root involved here, we're going to rewrite that using a fractional exponent. So it will be 1 plus 2x minus 3 to the 8th power, all of that raised to the 1/2 power. Since the 1/2 power is the outermost function, the entire thing's raised to that, we are going to start with the power rule for the derivative here. The derivative, y prime or dy dx, will be, bring the power down, the 1/2, leave the entire inside alone, so 1 plus 2x minus 3 to the 8th power, all of that raised to the subtract 1 from the power, 1/2, minus a 1, I will call it a 2/2. But since the inside is not just an x, but an entire expression, we have to take the derivative of the inside and multiply it. That's the chain rule. The derivative of the inside will be the derivative of 1 is a 0, and then the derivative of the 2x minus 3 to the 8th will be a power rule. We bring the 8 down, we subtract 1 from it, but then the inside of that is not just an x, but rather itself an expression, so now we have to multiply by the derivative of that inside. The derivative of 2x minus 3 will be a 2. And that completes the chain rule for that inside and the chain rule for the entire big inside. Our next step is to simplify everything here a little bit. So I'm going to move all of this, since it's multiplying, to the front with the 1/2. So I will have a 1/2. There's also an 8 and a 2. And a 2x minus 3 to the 7th power. And then in the other brackets, I have a 1 plus a 2x minus 3 to the 8th raised to the 1 minus 2, negative 1 over 2, negative 1/2 power. Now at the front, we have a 1/2 times an 8 times a 2. The 1/2 and the 2 can cancel each other. The 2 in the numerator and the 2 in the denominator cancel out, leaving us with just that 8. So I will have an 8 times a 2x minus 3 to the 7th. But then we have that quantity raised to the negative 1/2. Let's put it in the denominator, and then we can call it a positive 1/2. So we have 1 plus 2x minus 3 to the 8th power raised to the positive 1/2 power. Well, positive 1/2 means first power and then square root, so that'll just be square root, and we can write it now as 8 times 2x minus 3 all over the square root of 1 plus 2x minus 3 raised to the 8th power. There's our derivative y prime or dy dx.